So a 2-0 win over Hearts. You'll have seen Kieran's reaction video previously. That's still up if you want to give that a watch. And, well, to be honest, if we had lost that game, it would be hard to disagree with anybody that said our season was over. We're still kind of in that period of, torture, that hangover period from that last league defeat, and obviously it's going to be a massive hill to climb to gather that back. Now we're at the stage where we've got now 2 Old Firms to win if we want to secure that treble, which, to be fair to the squad, is still well and truly on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to react to some of the comments I've seen on social media after that Hearts win. I didn't manage to see the game until after I finished work, and I watched bits and pieces of the highlights as well, so I'm not going to be clued up on all of the nitty gritty stuff. If you want that kind of stuff, then look at our previous video that Kieran done. That was more of a match reaction after the game. He also done a bit as well. It's posted on the Blue Sea Patreon. The link to that is in the description. It's a great way for us to be, get to know you guys a wee bit more intimate. Stuff like exclusive podcast, exclusive content. We've got the Blue Room chat room as well, which me and Kieran will be quite active in. So let's have a look at these comments. So every other Saturday podcast, great podcast. Balogun, Cantwell, Diamande, class. Dessers done well with his 2 goals, also to win us the game. Didn't play particularly great, and some of the previous panic and slow build-up to our play was still there. Hearts were awful, and we done enough. On to the final in May. Now, what I've seen, obviously Dessers, great, and then getting these 2 goals, does it make up for previous performances? Not yet. Can he? Does he have a chance to win over the fans a wee bit more in the last 6 games? 100%. No player in this squad is almost written off. But we would like to see a wee bit more consistency. It's good that Dessers can, I think he scored 19 goals this season. It's good that he can pop up in the big moments and get a couple of goals, but they were the whole point with Rangers fans was that pretty much he didn't. It was far too, it was few and far between for these kind of performances for Dessers, and to be fair, he took his 2 goals pretty well. Second part of that, didn't play particularly great, and some of the previous panic and slow build up to play was still there. And I think that's going to be a common theme for the past 6 games, to be honest. That kind of slow build up, that period of time where we're almost kind of sitting back and trying to think with a few more ideas, different ideas, and also that kind of panic play as well. As I said in previous podcasts, we've got, you kind of know that Rangers are in that kind of panic mindset when you see balls getting zinged, like simple passes getting zinged at players. They're trying to play too quick, and almost you get to the stage of the game where that really quick play, almost we lose confidence with it and revert back to that slow build up, which is torture to watch at times, let's be honest. Next one, we have Heart and Hand podcast. After the week we had, quite pleased with today. Balogun, Sterling, Cantwell and Diamande putting in a shift. And while the big man can drive you to distraction, he sent us through. Could see nervousness creep in occasionally, but they get through it, and hopefully that helps. I mean, we spoke about the nervousness there, and hopefully that does, give us a little glimmer of hope into the last 6 games that we can fight through that nervousness, battle through that pressure period during a game. Obviously, it was a massive call by Clement when the team sheets came out. I was in my work and I looked at it and I was blown away at the fact that Goldson got dropped, but I think, to be honest, it's justified. And I know Goldson's always been a player that can almost plug through every single game. He's never really injured. He's always reliable in that sense. But I think, obviously, no matter how reliable you are, it doesn't warrant a starting position in the team, especially when we're going through, he's going through that kind of low dip in form. It's obviously that player being dropped is justified, and I think it was a long time coming. And Clement, I think, says he wanted to do it in the midweek game, where looking at it, to be honest, it didn't really matter. It was a goalless draw, but I think that it's kind of been playing on Clement's mind a wee bit longer. Obviously, Balogun partnering up there with John Souttar, we thought to ourselves, well, maybe this is going to be, we're going to be really tight at the back. And although Balogun, who seemed to me had to have a brilliant game. Suter still seemed like he had that kind of bomb scare, brain fart moment in him. But we'll see. Hopefully Balogun can get a few more minutes into him in the run up to the last stretch of the season, because I think he was absolutely quality. So on to the next comment. Hendy says, were we particularly good? No. Did we do enough and deserve the win? Yes. Should John Lundstram get a new contract? Absolutely fucking not. He is honking. And I think the big frustration when it comes to the fans and John Lundstram is he does have those periods of the game where there's those bursts of energy. He's all over the park, but again, similar to Dessers, they're starting to become more few and far between. A lot of the time he's not tracking back, he's kind of lacking energy during the game, he's almost a bit of a passenger at times, and I think if he's not got the legs playing beside him in the middle of the park, someone that can cover for him in a sense of, bringing that energy and that athleticism, he does really struggle, and I think the team as a whole struggles to take control of the game in the middle of the park. So, I can only agree there. I mean, is he going to get a new contract? It seems to me that, well, Clement says there's love for both sides. The way it was worded is there probably will be a contract table that's whether John Lundstram, I cannot see it being the same wage as he's had before, to be honest. So it's whether John Lundstram takes the contract, or I think he was looking at like Cardiff were interested. Whether that's an actual thing, I don't know. It just depends on where he sees, the most value for his career, whether it's staying here, whether it's going to Cardiff. Now, we were post-split fixtures, and obviously another old firm getting thrown into the mix. I'm starting to look and I'm starting to think to myself, right, you can't really help it. You've got to end up trying to predict where you can get the points and where you don't get the points. Where obviously, I think our next game is St Mirren on Sunday. I think we'll get a bit of a reaction there, a bit of a push on. The same way Kilmarnock at home. Kilmarnock's got to be a massively difficult game. Kilmarnock have proven themselves to be a difficult team to play against all season. Obviously, we've got that game against Celtic at Parkhead, and to be honest, with the looks of it, we're kind of going into this game with that kind of underdog kind of status, if you want to call it that, because a lot of people, including a lot of Rangers fans as well, are thinking this is going to be such a tough game. No fans, away to Celtic in the run up, but it's one of the games we're going to have to, again, the players are going to have to push through that pressure, that nervousness, and get the 3 points. It's the only way that we've any chance winning the league, because to be honest, we've got to assume that Celtic aren't really going to drop a lot of points come the end of the season. Do I believe Rangers or Celtic are going to go with maximum points at the end of the season out with the Old Firm? Absolutely not. I think both teams have a mistake in them. That was what's making this year seem like such a special title race. After that, we've got Dundee again, thankfully at Ibrox. We've got Hearts away, tough game. We've got Celtic with that Scottish Cup final to top the season off as well. So, I mean, the run-in's going to be as good as I've seen a run-in in a long, long time. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to jump into the comments, let me know what you thought about this episode, my opinions, what you thought of some of the tweets that you've seen as well. And remember, the Blue Sea Patreon is there. We're going to be putting a lot of effort into the Blue Sea Patreon over the near future. Obviously, when it comes into the Euros as well, we'll be posting a lot of content in there. It's a great way to connect to us a wee bit more. It's a great way to help us invest a wee bit more back into the content and making it better for you. As I said, the link to that is in the description next to our socials. I'll see you next time.